Yes, welcome along to episode 3 of Upping The Ante with thanks to our sponsors Bet365 with David Jennings and Johnny Dineen counting down to the 2023 Cheltenham Festival. Now Johnny, you had a bad start to last week with the trains and all that. Are you in better form this week?
Yeah, grand, yeah. No, not too bad. Quite enough weekend, no, not too bad. But got a bit of messing now last night, all right, you know what I mean?
You were doing a bit of messing?
No, got a bit of messing,
sorry,
small bit of messing. Met a fella for dinner in Naas, and I just drove into a car park. I was 100% and pitched the axle, you know what I mean? Yeah. There was no about 2 cars in it. It's a grand job. And we came out of it anyway, and the man said to me, my pal said to me, so you better, where'd you park? I said, this place around the, oh jeez, you shouldn't have gone in there. Why not? I said, you could be in trouble there. I said, not a hope. I said, go way out of that. He says, move it. You can move it up. So he said, go down and move it. So I went down to look for the move it clamped.
You were clamped already?
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
You wouldn't be Clamper's biggest fans, I'd say, would you?
No, actually, who is? You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't fancy that kind of a job now, would you?
No.
You know, but the clamping wasn't too bad. It's the waiting for about an hour. I was waiting in the cold as well, waiting for them to come and release it. Yeah. And like every car that comes towards you, you're saying, "Is this him? Is this?" Do you know what I mean? But eventually he came anyway. And, you know, but just, you know, the usual stuff. But last, look, I won't be there again now at the same time.
Didn't have a great day myself
Did
either.
You not?
No. It was over for the HWPA Awards in London.
Right.
High expectations.
Right.
No. Runner up again.
Yeah,
I have a few of them trophies now. I'm like Mellon, so I am. But 4-hour delay on the flight over.
Right.
Was sitting beside David Egan on the flight.
Oh,
what
good.
a legend he was. I'm sure he was praying it would take off, so I'd shut up. But he missed his winning ride as well in the second race. And I got about 2 hours of the awards, and then I had to come back from Gatwick last night, and that flight was delayed as well. So
go away.
Bad start to the week, isn't it?
Jeez, no, that would be great. And what did them guys do if they missed flight? Did they just come back on the next flight? Like if they're, I know he's probably going over to stay there, but
he was going over to say Colin Keane and Shane Foley were on the flight.
Yeah, but they'll just land and come back on the next one. Then
That's
as
it,
well.
Might have, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Anyway, we'll try and cheer them up for the rest of the show.
Absolutely.
Things can only get better, as Dee Ream would say. Let's get on with the show. So let's kick off with Johnny's week in review, where we find out how he did over the last 7 days. Right, Johnny, come on. Did you win or lose?
I actually won this week.
Yes.
Yeah, some few quid anyway.
Right.
Very
good week.
No, some few quid as well. I didn't win a fortune, no. Saturday and Sunday, but I won both days. And like, I think generally the days you need to win nowadays.
The weekends.
The weekends. It's
a
bit like, yeah, it is. And no, I do bet every day, but the Saturdays and Sundays seem to have a big impact on the whole week. But I did win Saturday, not major, no, but I did win, and I won Sunday. But then like thin lines, you know what I mean? Like you're talking T-Hoopo against
yeah, that was your big one for the weekend.
Well, it was a biggish enough play, yeah, it was. And
do you think you're up?
I didn't know, but I don't have any opinion on photos. I just look at the betting on the computer, and it was like about 8 to 11. The loser, 11 to
Ballyburn,
to. So you're not right. You're not like ruling out your chances, like, you know what I mean. Then when it's as tight as that, you have to have a chance, like, you know what I mean. Yeah. At least it's not like 103 or something.
So Ballyburn was favoured in.
He was, yeah.
After the race, wow.
A favourite after the race, yeah, but not huge favourite.
And you go straight to the betting, right? So this is what I can't understand. So the people who are betting on the photo are looking at exactly what you're looking at.
Yes.
But you're looking at the betting. So do you think their opinion is better than
I
yours?
have no confidence in what I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying?
That's what your wife says as well.
Yeah, I have no confidence in my ability to have a bet in the photo. I don't bet in photos because I wouldn't be good enough to bet on them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I look to go to people that are betting in the photos,
right,
that are putting their money down. And there's nothing better than a man putting his own money down anyway. Do you know what I mean? Okay. So if a fella is willing to bet 20 to 1 on a horse is up in the photo, I'm pretty sure he's going to get his money. You know what I mean? Like if you won't, like if you're 104, 105, you don't even have to wait for the result. Do you know what I mean? I think anyway, normally. Okay. Like the only chance you might lose. There was one last night actually in Wolverhampton. I checked it. It was close now, and it was 101 to lay in the photo. And I was saying to myself, that's fierce close. Like, how would you bet 101? And then I checked the result afterwards. It was beaten, but it was thrown out in the stewards.
Oh, right.
But it was 101 in the photo. It won a nose.
Yeah.
Like, and the fellas are willing to bet 100 to 1 on, and it's a nose. You know what I mean?
And then you lose your money if it loses.
You lose it afterwards.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So that's a nasty kick for someone anyway. Yeah. But generally speaking, if you're worse than, you have a chance in the photo if you're up to 2 to 1 or 5 to 2 maybe. Okay. But after that, you're
so Te-Hoopo was good for you. Anything else that went well?
Saturday you were Romeo Coolio. I backed that.
Romeo Coolio.
Yeah. The one negative I had on the Sunday was I laid that cocktail brute
You're unlucky there.
Yeah, and I backed the passing wife as well in the same race.
That ran really well.
Well, it did, and wasn't far off winning. No, I actually thought I was going to nip him for a stride or two on the running. But that was a bit of a swing. But
you backed the passing wife, what price? Huge price.
It was 35 to 1, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
That wouldn't be your cup of tea.
No, but like them kind of races, I'd have a stab off. I don't back all favourites either. You know what I mean?
Oh, do you not?
No, I don't.
Right, okay.
Like Cocktail Brood, I could see it winning, but I didn't think it was a 6-4 hand shot at the same time. Sure, it all but got beat, but it didn't. So like you're talking 2-4, there's one go against you, one go for you. So it's basically.
And you were very keen on the horse, obviously, in your column on Saturday in the Racing Post that won very, very impressively.
Storm and George, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, but like it was short now, the finish, but it did win at the same time. It won the walk, yeah, it did.
Okay, so a good week.
Goodish.
And so we've only got 3 weeks left in the year. So give your year mark out of 10, maybe a 7.
I'd give it more. I'd say, I would. I'd give it I mean, if you get your kind of quota, you're happy with that.
And you're on top of the quota.
Well, I have my quota roughly anyway. But
it must have been a very good week last week.
No, it wasn't. No, a good start. As I said, a good start to the year. But I'd give it an 8 out of 10 in here for sure. Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll take that. That's Johnny's week in review. So now it's time for Ask Us Anything. But before we get stuck into the questions, have you subscribed yet? Because I'm hearing, Johnny, they're still not subscribing.
Is that right?
No, and there's a big giveaway coming if we get up to, I think, 80,000 subscribers.
What does subscribing mean?
Subscribing means, Johnny, you subscribe to the show, like. So it means you're a fan, like.
But does it cost you money to subscribe?
No, it's free, Johnny. It's free.
But would you not explain that to people, like?
Oh, sorry. It's free. It's free to subscribe. Sorry, Johnny. Yeah, stating the obvious.
I automatically assume a subscription would cost people money. So if someone said to me,
$6,500 to subscribe, why have you not done it?
If you said to me, would you subscribe? I said, not, I hope.
Sorry, yeah, it's free. It's free. So please subscribe because we have a massive giveaway before the Cheltenham Festival. We can get these subscriptions up. Here we go, Johnny. Ask us anything. And Michael Mead is up first this week. And Michael says he is strongly considering backing Constitution Hill for the champion hurdle at 12 to 1. What would you advise him to do? And if he doesn't, have you an alternative for him? So Constitution Hill.
Yeah, look, I mean, Constitution Hill is like 12 to 1. Would he even ever run again over hurdles now?
What price? You're a bookie, right? You are a bookie. What price is he to run again? Come on.
I'll run again. They said he'd run
price?
Again. Would he run again? But maybe he'd run in flat races, would he? I don't know.
Well, what price is he to run over hurdles again?
I've no idea.
It's very hard price.
Very hard thing to. I suppose he's favourite to run again anyway. Yeah,
odds
over. I imagine he probably is.
Okay.
I mean, he's a hurdle horse at the end of the day. He's 9 years of age. What kind of flat races could he even run in?
I'd have no. I think it's ridiculous thinking about running him on the flat.
Yeah, probably.
Forget about that.
Yeah. The only thing is, like I would say, like he's the flagship horse of the marquee horse of National Hunt Racing. He's the horse that everyone talks about. If anything were to happen in a race, there would be war, wouldn't there? Like amongst the brigade that are anti-National Hunt Racing. Yeah. Like you've seen 3 warning signs. How many more do you want to see? And the falls he's getting, it's a miracle that he's not been badly hurt already. Because he's diving into hurdles. He's getting bad falls.
At speed, yeah.
You know what I mean? And the speed that them horses are going. So if by chance they run him again over hurdles and something like that, and he comes away like maybe in worse condition than he has been doing, then like there's going to be a bit of a fallout for some of that. So he's got to have to keep that into consideration. But for that reason, I don't think he's certainly to run over hurdles again.
But would the flip side of that be that he's a jumps horse?
Yes, yeah.
And that he is a brilliant jumper when he's at his best.
Yeah, look, I agree.
He's bred to jump.
For jumps people, like they would be saying that's slow, but we're not dealing with jumps people at certain points in this game now anymore. Okay, you know what I mean? That's kind of so you've got to be mindful of something like that. I probably think he will jump.
I think he'll run at Christmas at Kempton again. Will he?
Well, it depends
on
how.
He won the last 3 races. He's brilliant at Kempton. Maybe that's the last roll of the dice. Maybe.
Yeah, but his jumping technique has gone to pot, hasn't it? Like, and the problem with backing him at 12 to 1 is. You've seen him in Cheltenham. He's going really well. You don't know what he was going to do. You've seen him in Aintree. He had every chance. You don't know what he's going to do. Yeah. And you see him the last day, and he's fed at the second hurdle. You have no clue what he's going to do. So you don't even know where he's at.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Good point.
You're not getting any, like Bar Punches Down, which was a non-event. It's the only time he finished and he ran atrocious. But in the other races, obviously it was very early, but he was going perfectly well in the 3 races. And you haven't seen the end product. So it's very hard to say where he even is currently. At 12 to 1, with the thing about would he be good enough? Would he even run? How did he come out of the race?
It's a terrible price, really.
Well, I wouldn't say it's disastrous price because when you look down through him, it's not the strongest heat at the minute. No. I wouldn't be going for it myself now. But
if you were Nicky Henderson, what would you do? Would you try something different? Would you change the jockey? Would you run him over fences? Is there anything that you would do?
Well, I'd say running him over fences is a complete no-no anyway.
Okay,
I think for starters.
Jockey?
Jockey, the jockey's been finding him a lot of times. I think it's the horse is the problem now. Like he didn't run very well for James Bowen in Punchestown either. So like, you're hardly going to get a jockey from outside the yard to ride him. In fairness, and like Nico de Bonneville has won a lot of races and a lot of horses, and including the Constitutional. I think you're really grasping at straws doing that kind of thing. It's ultimately it's up to the horse, and as somebody said the other day, that I think it was listening to some jockey where he reckons that he's going to a hurdle and he's halfway there and he said, "Oh no," do you know what I mean? It's like you're passing a car and you said, "Jesus, I'm not going to make this." You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff.
And I've seen you driving. That happens a lot.
I better pull back in again. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So I don't know what you do with him. I mean, I've never ridden a horse. I don't know anything about it. But look, it's a lot of luck in National Hunt racing, and he's going to need a bit of luck to get back to his best.
So second half of that question was, so Michael, you're not backing Constitution Hill at 12-1. Don't do it.
Yeah,
Johnny, what's the alternative?
I've looked down through them now, and
there's only one, Johnny.
Yeah, he's looking for an outsider as well, isn't he? I think it's a possible outsider. The horse that I'd be leaning towards now is the New Line.
Yeah.
He's jumping.
Would he have won?
When I saw the race first, I said no, he wouldn't have won. But when I looked at him, after looking at 2 or 3 times since, and you couldn't be adamant either way, but I have a feeling he might have had.
I have a feeling he definitely would have.
I think he was actually going better than the winner when he did come down, you know what I mean?
I thought he was quickening into the hurdle.
Maybe so, and like I do think one thing about the New Line, he's one thing that proved for me anyway. Well, 2 things that proved of that race proved for me, even though I left a lot of questions. I think Ante-Post is out of contention now as a champion hurdle horse.
Gone.
I wouldn't have him now anyway. No, I wouldn't. He had no excuses whatsoever. He couldn't be.
Just immaturity and inexperience, though, no?
Stop. Them horses, they're like at 5 years of age. Them French horses, most of them. I wouldn't say it's immaturity, no.
Okay.
He had a high head carriage, couldn't beat Golden Ace. He'd every chance, in my opinion, anyway. I wouldn't have him as a champion hurdle contender anymore, anyway. He's a good horse, obviously, but like just until he kind of put himself out of it, in my opinion.
Okay.
The New Line's jumping was fantastic, I thought, before he fell. And one thing you'd say, you'll never again see the New Line in front of the race.
Ever
until he comes to the last one, anyway. Now, they were riding him like that, but he had no choice but to stick to Constitution Hill, and he was doing that perfectly. Yeah. From flag fall, he was making sure that he wasn't giving them 5 lengths out of the gate, so he was within the length of him all the way around. But he was ultimately he was going to get a lead off Constitution all the way. Suddenly he was left in front, and then he was
first time in his life. He
was jinking at hurdles, and it looked like he was even going to run out of one. Yeah. So there's no way that horse will ever be in front again in a race until coming to the last. And every other, I mean, they rode him that way in Cheltenham, they rode him that way in Newbury in them Grade 1 race, you know. So I still think he's a huge runner now. The New Line. He actually has I think a better chance now. That I would have rated him a better horse now than I did up to the fight.
Oh wow! So he enhanced his reputation.
He did in my eyes anyway, because his jumping was champion hurdle-esque up to the time he fell.
Yeah. Okay.
And I do think that his running style will be altered the next day. You'll never again see him in front until they come to the last in the hurdle now. And his jumping is good. He's the one to be. And if you were looking for an outsider, I looked down through the field now. There's a lot of horses that have no chance in the betting.
You back outsiders, yeah?
I would the odd time. No, but I'm just saying a possibility. One horse that I thought was slightly overpriced, it's probably not even going for the race, is Cabral du Mathan. It's another Skelton horse.
Oh, be the Lord, Lamb.
Like you're 50-1. No, that you.
Cabral du Mathan?
Yeah.
First, I was with Nichols.
Yeah.
Up a Haydock.
Yeah, he did. He won off 140 in Haydock, so he's probably won 50 horse already. So he's got about another stone to go. But he's not. He's fairly lightly raced. He only has about 6 runs in his card. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Now something has to happen. The new one. For him to go into the, you know what I mean? So
the new one didn't win a championship.
Oh, not the new one. The
New Line. Yeah.
The New Line, I meant to say. Yeah. So you probably won't even be able to race as long as the New Line is purring. You know what I mean? So, but of the outside, it's 50-1. I didn't think it was the worst 50-1 chance in living memory now. You know what I mean? Like I think horses like William Money have no chance in the champion hurdle. Like none in the world, in my opinion. None, absolutely zero. I just think he won't be good enough. I think he won't be.
You don't think he'll be good enough? You think Cabral du Mathan might be good enough?
Well, William Money's about 8-1.
Oh, yes.
I wouldn't back William Money at any price, to be honest. I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't give him a prayer. I wouldn't give him back Ante-Post at any price either. Now, I mean, as far as I can say, them horses
just start dropping like flies here in the championship.
Like you only have Lassimo and the New Line.
No, you have Sergino. Yeah, that's the key horse here, Sergino. I'm sick because we had our Christmas party on Sunday night, and I said, Johnny, I'm putting up one on the show on Tuesday. I said, Sergino, a 10-1 for the champion hurdle. What a price that is. And you gave me a look as if to say, what are you on about, you bloody idiot, you? And now he's like 7-2.
Yeah, look, he's very sharp price for a horse.
You're not.
I'm not having that at all anyway, so Gino. No, that horse has too many questions to answer as well. At the price he's now anyway, okay, he's obviously a brilliant horse.
He could be the best horse in training.
He could be,
Probably is the best horse in training.
Coming back from an injury though at the same time, and you never know what the kind of reaction the horses will have to them kind
Never been beaten.
Will they ever be the same again though?
You don't know, like.
But you're taking
he's a young horse, like. It's not as if he's 10.
But he's almost priced as if he never had an injury now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and he still has to come back. Like, he has to run first.
Yeah.
And then he has to win.
But there is a chance, right?
Oh, there is a chance.
Well, no, there is a chance that this horse could be like evens in the Champion Hurdle. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, there is.
Like he's got that sort of a profile.
But if you had to take it like evens, say go off evens or not be there at all, what would you pick? Right now.
Probably not get there at all.
Yeah, there you go. Do you know what I mean? So
right. Gamble Responsibly, 50 to 1, is it?
Look, somebody has to happen to new line. He has to fluff his lines first of all for the Cabral. Like, they're hardly going to run both of them, are they? Like at the same time. But I do think he's a good horse, though, Gamble Responsibly. Probably like they ran 2-3 lads, but he's plenty form at 2 miles at the same time. He has form in that Scottish Champion Hurdle tied with that little dime.
Yeah.
He hasn't many runs either on his card. I do think he's a very progressive horse in a kind of a section that's not wonderful though. You know.
Okay, there we go. Jesus, I think it's Thursday already, is it? We have to spend about half an hour on that question. We better hurry up. Thanks for your question, Michael. Don't back on Susan. Our second question this week comes in from Connor Flannelly, and Connor wants to know, God forbid, if anything were to happen to Paul Townend in the lead up to the Cheltenham Festival, who would ride Willie Mullins' A-team at Cheltenham, Johnny?
Yeah, I'd say looking for what
good question.
From the outside looking, I would have said they'll probably be shared between Harry Cobden and Danny Mullins, I'd imagine, depending on how Cobden would be fixed with Paul Nicholls in races.
So put it this way, right? Kopek the board is 4-6 for the Arkle.
Yeah.
No other Willie Mullins horse in the race. Who rides him?
And no Paul Nicholls horse in the race.
Yeah.
And no Paul Townend, obviously.
Yeah, well, that's the question.
Yeah, okay.
That'd be a great question, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Paul Townend would ride him.
Yeah, I guess maybe Cobden, yeah.
Oh, you think Cobden?
Yeah,
right, okay.
Yeah. Well, the fact that he came to Fairyhurst to ride a horse for them in the Drinmore, that's a bit of a statement of intent there, isn't there? Like
so do you think Willie would go down the Aidan O'Brien approach when Ryan Moore got injured and he brought in Christoph Sumi on a relative outsider, but a part of the team, but an outsider? You think he might do that?
He has ridden winners for him at festivals already, hasn't he, Cobden, for Mullins? So he is very much in their thinking at the same time. And I'd put it this way, it might be a situation where they put it to the owners, who do you want, Danny Mullins or Cobden? Yeah. And then you take a pick from there, you know what I mean? So they might share them, whatever. But I would say Cobden will ride for Mullins at the festival this year. He rode last year for him, didn't he?
Do you think he might ride even good fancied horse at the festival?
Well, he won't ride in front of...
Even if Paul is there, though, do you think he'll ride the second strings?
It's a possibility, yeah.
Wow, okay.
It is a possibility, yeah. I'd say it'll be shared between him and Danny Mullins. They're both... Like, Danny Mullins has a fair bit of success in Cheltenham too, so like he's going to get his turn as well. But I'd say Cobden is going to be included in the equation for certain. I mean, why wouldn't you use him if he's available at the same time? Mm-hmm. And why won't fellas use Sean Bowen if he's available in races? Because he'll be available too. Mm-hmm. Now, the only thing about Gordon Elliott, he's got 3 like top jockeys, do you know what I mean? So Sean Bowen is probably not going to get a look in there, and like he's not going to get a look in with Mullins because Cobden is going to be ahead of him. So where is he going to get the rides from? Like, it's got to be from some farmer, isn't it? Like, Irish, do you know what I mean? That has one horse, and that's probably unlikely too. So he's probably not going to get good rides. Anyway. He'll probably get rides, all right, but he's not going to get good ones. Okay, there we go. Harry Cobden could be the man if something were to happen to Paul Townend before the Cheltenham Festival. Next up is Jody Blake. And Jody says, Johnny, racing seems to have gone very technical these days, Johnny. She says, with race IQ, stride patterning, finishing speeds, and jump index. She thinks it's gone very technical. And Jody wants to know, do you factor all those things in when you're having a bet? I wouldn't factor any of that stuff in if I was having a bet. No, not really anyway. Or not at all, in fact. And my, like, I suppose, look, you could term me as maybe being a bit of a dinosaur or whatever. Like, I'm at an age where, like, we're never going to get into that kind of stuff anyway. Do you believe in it? Look, I'm not really a time man either. No, I know fellas. I see fellas like the Dixons, and they're clever fellas. They can make, like, they know exactly what they're talking about. they're clever young fellas. No, not young anyway, but they're mid or whatever they are anyway, right? But they're young in relation to me anyway. But anyway,
Martin and Chris, if you're watching, you're relatively young.
But
middle-aged.
I know that they know they reference time. So I would concede that there is probably some element of times that are important when you go and picking a horse or whatever. But like, and I said they would win money back in horses, them guys. You know what I mean? From using like, but these things are only a part of the whole jigsaw. But the race IQ, what else is there? The
jumping index,
like
stride pattern.
That is the biggest load of codswallop.
Which one?
All of them. All of them. Stride pattern of no relevance, right?
None,
zero. Race IQ, the biggest crock of rubbish I've ever heard in all my life. Absolute nonsense. It is. It's rubbish. Race IQ, I don't need race IQ to tell me a horse jumped well in a race. You know what I mean?
So this is the jumping index.
Or whatever you call it. This kind of stuff. Like he gained 4 lengths. I should know that myself. You know what I mean? I don't have to be looking to a computer to tell me this. Like any fellas that I deal with, the my cohorts or whatever, my vintage, none of them fellas would resort to this kind of stuff. Like,
and they're successful. Like.
Well, they've done fine without it anyway. Do you know what I mean? But I just think it's fellas coming reinventing stuff. Like these guys think they invented the game, reinventing racing, coming up with this kind of nonsense. It's the same in football. You have this
expected goals.
How could an EG be 0 point? How do you score 0.8 of a goal? Do you know what I mean? How do you? Do you know what I'm saying? And you have these fellas saying, oh, he 2 shots. Like you're playing, right, and I'm playing in a football match, right? Okay. Right. So I take.
Am I marking you? You marking
no, we're
me?
both strikers, right?
How are you?
So
okay.
I take 2 shots from 30 yards out, right? And they dribble through to the goal. He could put his cap up on top of the ball, right? Do you know what I mean? It's going in so slow, so he catches it, right?
Right.
Okay, so I do that twice. I have 2 shots now on target, right?
Yeah.
You hit the bar twice and the crossbar once, right? Or the post. And that's counted. That's no shot on target, right. Even though like you could have scored 3 times.
Yeah.
But like the stats will tell you, I had 2 shots on target. You had none.
Yeah.
But it's not a load of bull. That's what it is. It is. It's a load of bull. It's this fella's reinventing stuff to make.
So the recent one I suppose was Factifying in the John Durkin. His jumping on the day was the best jumping performance on the jump index, but. You just don't think it's any...
I can watch Factifying in Gaelic while I go around and I'd say, he jumped fine. There's nothing wrong with his jumping or anything like it. You can see in Cheltenham that he jumped probably the best of the horses in every race, or in that race. But I don't think like everything has to be complicated, and this stuff about like 4.4 and finish, like put it this way, if we go to the mile start in the Curragh, right? Okay? Me and you in a race, okay? So you said we'll have a run up to the finishing post. So I said to you, well, you say I'm going to go hard now here. And I said, well, I'm going to take it easy because I won't get up there otherwise. You know what I mean? So
you will in January when you're doing your 5K.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, you go hard anyway. But for the last furlong, you're unconscious, right? But you get to. But I tip away at my own pace, right? And I sprint for the last furlong because that's about my limit. Okay, so my finishing speed is going to be stronger than yours, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
But these fellas saying, his finishing speed was that's a load of pony. It's all in relation to the actual race itself. That makes a huge difference. What the tempo of the pace of the race was all along. The finishing speed has no real relevance, is it? Like really, I don't know.
They're going to be out to get you now.
I wouldn't care less.
You are going to get some battering for this.
I couldn't care less. Oh, listen, put it this way: if I met a fella in a hotel or a pub, right, and he was giving me the spiel about racing data and this and this, you know what I mean? I'd say, do you know what, I'm going to ask you to do 2 things now.
Right.
Go into the toilet and flush the data down it, right? And when you're finished, when it refills, try and flush yourself because I ain't listening to this.
There you go. That's Johnny's opinion on the technical side of racing. And finally, it's Matthew Joyce. And Matthew says, does Johnny listen to the commentaries when he's had a bet? And if he does, so do you watch them in silence or do you actually listen to the commentaries? And if you do listen to the race commentaries, who's your favourite commentator, Johnny? Do you listen?
Only if I'm having a lump on one, no.
No.
Silence, yeah.
Mute.
It's mute, the whole lot, yeah. Because I can see my own horse. I don't need to be told how it's going, you know what I mean? And
is that superstition or anything?
No, it's just that the fella saying the eye is drawn to this and all this rubbish.
You don't like that?
Oh, leave me alone, the eye is drawn. I can see, you know what I mean? He's more or less telling you it's going to win and you're there like, didn't win anything yet, that kind of stuff. And travelling well and all this stuff. I just don't want to hear it.
The horse can't hear it though.
No, but I listen. I don't want to hear it. No, I listen to. There are some good commentators, but I like the fellas that keep it simple.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't like the fellas that like, I don't know. A bit commentating to me is a bit like it's a bit like, I don't know how to single out any like, but commentating to me is a bit like refereeing in a football match. Do you know what I mean? A good referee shouldn't even be noticed. Do you know what I'm saying?
Ooh, right, okay.
Do you know?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
go on.
like put it this way, I would say...
Should it not be adding to the occasion, though? So you're saying the referee shouldn't be, as in they're just there to do a job, right?
Yes, but they're not, shouldn't be the centre of attention, like, really. Do you know what I mean?
Should they not be one of the main parts of the race?
But
from a viewing point of view?
No, but like, my idea...
Relentless, remorseless, has pounded caught us star into submission. The answer is them. And did that not add to the people watching that race?
It did, if you were on it.
What do you mean if you're on it? But you can just enjoy your race.
Yeah, but if you had no monetary investment, it'd be. But if you're on the second, then wouldn't be listening to that remorseless stuff at the same time. Look, I have no problem with that kind of stuff either. But listen, some guys are there, and there's an attempt. Right, like to me, a good commentator is if you said to me, "Okay, Clonmel is on today. Who was commentating?" I said, "I can't remember. I don't know."
Right,
but not like Clonmel or Kelso was on today, and who was that Yoke was commentating. Do you know what I mean? I can't stand listening to him.
Johnny just picked a specific track there. That's not the Kelso commentator. No, you just picked it.
Exactly. You're just making up a track or whatever. It's Newbury or whatever. You know what I mean? Okay. I couldn't listen to him. I have to him. You know, I have no problem listening to him. I like, you know who I like commentating now? Is Gary O'Brien, because he keeps it fierce simple. He's possibly maybe on the boring side, if anything, but he doesn't, like, I always like the likes of Peter O'Hare and Tony, them O'Hares and Desi Scal, even Jerry Hannon, they don't complicate things. What I don't want anyway is listen to some fella telling me that they're coming down to the second last and this thing won in point to point in Lochbricklin 2 years ago. At that stage, that had much relevance to me anyway. Do you know what I mean? Or he's a half sister to the mayor that won point to point last Sunday. Do you know what I mean? This is rubbish talk. Like, you know what I mean? At that stage, like, that kind of business is out the window. I mean, sometimes it's a attempt, like, to me it looks like it's, look how clever I am. Like, you know what I mean? I know the breeding of these horses. I know this and I know they have to fill in time, but these guys can't wait to show you how clever they are sometimes. You know what I mean? So I just like the fellas to keep it simple. And if I had a big lump on, I'd nearly invariably in total silence. Yeah.
Okay. And then after it wins, would you rewind and listen to?
No. I could press the unmute button and listen away because it's very easy to listen to stuff afterwards. No, if I had no bet, I'd listen away to whoever's comment. It makes no difference to me. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit like a story of a good story of a punter. He's dead since, but flew into Dublin one night, and it's a quick one. But he got into a taxi and he said he ran Bagot Street. You know what I mean? So your man, taxi drivers, typically can't stop talking, of course. So he said, now you can go 3 different ways. You can go through the M50, or you can go to Tunnel, or you can go all this. So he says, which way would you like to go? And your man says, in total silence. In other words, shut up. And just say nothing and bring me wherever way you like. And sometimes I feel that with commentators. I just want to...
Johnny, what are we going to do without you?
But like,
you'll have to stay on.
Every punter is different, and most fellas have their own little idiosyncrasies. Like, if I have a lump anyway, I will get up off the chair and lean over it.
At the back of it?
Of the chair, yeah. Kind of a sliding chair, you know what I mean? And watch it. And if it's beat, then if it looks like it's beat, just sit back down again. You know what I mean? Like that kind of way.
Okay.
But and usually it's inside. There's nobody in the room with me either. So.
Okay.
But every fella has their own little nicks and necks, you know?
Okay. There you go. That's Johnny's view on racing commentaries. So it's start of the week time here in Upping The Ante, where Johnny Dineen counts down his top 3 performances from the last 7 days. And there were quite a few exceptional performances. Who's your number 3?
Number 3, even though I don't normally put up horses that get it easy in front, I put up Jimmy Desai, even though he did probably get it easy enough in front, but he was hugely impressive at the same time. I mean, it was a fairly good effort now for a horse starting off chasing.
Good race too.
Yeah, goodish race, and like good second horse there, the Big Western's a fair mare as well, and like it beat it comfortably. Pinpoint jumping. It was a lot to like about it now. Okay, he's going to have to come up against maybe Final Demand, which is a bit... Which is going to probably prove troublesome for him.
And you think they made a mistake taking out the Turners, the middle novice chase?
I do, yeah, I do. I think that's a big loss to Cheltenham Festival. I think it was always a classy race, a good race. There were some really good horses won it. And you have the likes of horses falling in between 2 stools. No, you have...
But you're saying Jimmy Desai there, he'll have to go and take on Final Demand. So if that race was there, he wouldn't be taking on Final Demand. He'll have another Monkfish.
But he might be... we're going to have it anyway, probably. He mightn't take him on at all. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, you think he won't run?
Well, you wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah,
but
okay.
would you rather him taking on? Would you rather him taking on Romeo Coolio 2.5 miles? Now you have Romeo Coolio and Jimmy Destroy running in races that they probably wouldn't want to run in at all.
Yeah, but so what? Like, it's okay taking them out of their comfort zone, not having perfect terms and conditions for every single horse on every race.
Yeah, okay, but why not take out the 2.5 mile hurdle race then? If you're going to be doing it for the show, why leave it in a hurdle race?
There's no 2.5 hurdle race, Cheltenham. Oh, you mean the novice hurdle?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah.
Why not take that out?
Yeah.
And like, why have mares races and mares this and mares that, and yet you're catering for every kind of a horse, but yet you have a real classy 2.5. Like the best novice chase last year, our most exciting one was the 2.5 mile race in Aintree.
In Perry Pass in Gidley Park.
Yeah, it was a brilliant race, and Django Boy. That was a top class race. And there is top class horses running at 2 miles. Not every horse is a slogger at 3 mile. Not every horse has maybe the pace to go 2 miles. Like Romeo Coolio.
Was Romeo Coolio not adding to the Arkle by running against Lou Lamba and Cope the Board rather than running over 2.5 miles?
Like put it this way, it's almost like a fella that's a specialist 200 metre runner having to go 100 or 400.
Yeah, but sure.
That's his gig, 200 metres. He's a 200 metre.
But is there not too many options though in racing? And we don't have enough horses for these.
Yeah,
options.
we probably don't have enough horses. But like you had last year in the so-called like race where the Sunday Lines or the Brown Advisory, whatever. You had
done, Johnny.
You had 7 runners, 4 to 7 shot. Do you know what I mean? Like you had Fact to File, 4 to 6 or 4 to 7, 6 runners. You had Monkfish. Like the horses aren't there for these races anyway. But I think driving horses into Aintree, like you'd have had Django Boy in the 2.5 mile race in Cheltenham last year at the same time. You would have ran in that.
Yeah. So then the Arkle would have had 4 runners.
Yeah, but that's not the fault of the 2.5 mile race though, at the same time though. I don't know.
But it is though.
Yeah, but
I think we'll see what happens this year. I think obviously this year could be a disaster
it's going to have a
altogether.
small
If Cope the Board
field
and Final Man are as good as they look
the
like.
Arkle is never going to have a good big field anymore because too many horses are in the one stable anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's not as if like okay, Willie Mullins says 5 for the Arkle maybe. He could have 5 for the Arkle. If they were in 5 different stables, they'd all be running in the Arkle. But when he whittles them down, there's only 1 or 2, or maybe that kind of way. But whereas now or before, they'd be trained by Noel Meade or Gordon Elliott or whoever's going to be. You know, it could be anyone, Edward O'Grady or something like that. Could have had him that time. You know, so that's why you don't have the same amount. I do think the 2.5 mile is a big loss. Like there's a lot of ordinary races. Well, there's not a lot of them, but there's a few ordinary races in Cheltenham. Yet to get rid of that one, I thought it was a mistake anyway.
Okay, so number 3 was Jimmy Desai. Number 2?
No, number 2, I like the look of Active Innocence in the maiden hurdle in Newbury. Well backed, really well backed. It's always a good sign. Beat the right horse, Sinatra, who would form tied in with Captain Hugo, who's a good horse, and the third horse was Storm and George. That's good form, like that.
And Sinatra got first run too, like
he did. He got a couple of lengths in him, and your man picked them up well. Like Newbury's a great course though.
Brilliant.
It's one course where you can be behind at the last and bolt in like at the same time. You've loads of time even at the last, a furlong and a bit of a run in, and he did it well. And now like I don't know how good a horse he is, but he's going to take high enough rank in the 2 mile division in novice races in England and whatever about Ireland.
Don't underestimate him then.
No, I'd say it's a very smart horse. Like how smart he's going to have to be to get up to supreme novice level is another thing. Like, you know, the Irish horses coming, but he's got Henderson who has a good record in the race, and he's a very likeable horse now. But the fact that he was so well backed was a big pointer too. I'd say they rated him fairly highly, and he didn't disappoint.
Yeah, of course he went to that Newbury Gallop as well. And number 1, I have a feeling I know what it is.
I thought
have we mentioned him?
Romeo Coolio was outstanding. Yeah.
And in fairness to Johnny, if you bought Sunday's Race and Post, he did say a 10-1 in the Arkle. It was a cracking each way bet before the race. You like this horse a lot.
I do, and I think a lot of people do. I think a lot of people like that horse. I think he's a huge runner in an Arkle. I do, and I hear fellas saying, he's too slow. That's not. There's loads of horses came back from 2.5 miles to run in an Arkle and win it. Do you know what I mean? The likes of, Simon Sigg came from the Sunny Lines hurdle, or the mid-intermediate trip back to and there was nobody would said like that. He's too slow. You know what I mean? He was 4 to 7 or something like that. Like the likes of Captain Chris came back. He was running in 2.5 mile races. My Way to Salden came from a 3 mile world hurdle. So like being able to stay 2.5 miles is no impediment. I'd love to see Romeo Coolio go to Leopardstown and take on
Cope the Board.
Yes.
And he does
at 2 miles.
He does a lot probably more right in a race than Upping The Ante does.
Well, I've never, as I said, I've never ridden a horse in here.
Have you not, Johnny?
No, I haven't. But I'd like to chance Romeo Coolio go toe-to-toe with Upping The Ante at every fence in Leopardstown, and we'll see what happened then.
Yeah. Do a kind of a load of sud jambon type of thing at the show.
I think,
put him upside him.
I think he could put him under serious
There's
pressure.
a sight.
So is he going to go that route, would you say?
Well, they're hemming and hawing, I'd say, because they're talking, I know, about Kempton and talking about different things. And I suppose he's had two relatively quick runs.
Where's he going to go in Kempton?
Well, the 2 mile race. The 2 mile race that Sergino.
Oh, I know the race. Yeah. I thought you might have mentioned the Felt. They were going for the Feltham or something.
Oh no, I'd say he's not going to go 3 miles.
Yeah. But there's fellas intimating that he could go. Is as likely to go 3 as 2. I think there's no way he'll go 3 mile myself. I think he'll go 2 miles.
Do you know what was very interesting? I don't know if you've seen the interview with Gordon Elliott after the race, where he said he was beside himself, petrified, kind of coming up the straight, as if to say, this horse is so good that every time he runs, I'm nervous. And he has a lot of good horses, and when you hear him saying things like that, you're kind of going, okay, this is different. Like
what I really liked about his performance last Sunday was the fact that he lost second place at one stage, and if you were on him, you'd be saying, "Jeez, he's gone back to third here. What's this about?" And then he was jumping on the outside with horses, and then he settled the race, and he won effortlessly. To be honest, I like horses that they're not one-trick ponies that have to make the guarantee to get their own way. And he's proven on Sunday that he don't need his own
jumper.
Brilliant, absolutely pinpoint.
Did you see the jump index for the race?
I didn't look at that, no. I had an idea he jumped okay.
He jumped all right, yeah. Yeah, he is some leper.
Really accurate, which is important for a chaser, and I have no problem. There's plenty of horses come back from 2.5 miles to 2 mile and won the... Or could have gone either way. Like Undeso, the year he won, he could have gone 2.5, and Vautour could have gone 2. I'd say there's not a lot of difference between a 2 mile and a 2. And to me, he has every chance in an Arkle. Every chance.
There you go, Johnny Dineen, star of the week. It's Romeo Coolio. Right, Johnny, one for the Race and Post tracker. What caught your eye over the last week?
I like the look of a horse called Charisma Cat. It ran in the Mayor's race in Newbury on Saturday.
Winner's a good horse as well.
Winner's a very smart horse, La Conquier. Very, very smart race it was. But La Charisma Cat, I think it won 3 bumpers. Has form tied in with, it's all good mares in bumpers and that. Finished up only 7-2 for the entry bumper. Disappointed. That was about its only blip. It's form tied in with that good mare of Fergal O'Brien's that won in Warwick. He has form tied in with the likes of La Conquier as well, and other good mares. It made a few mistakes. It was his first run over hurdles, La Conquier had won in Utoxeter, yet it wasn't giving it any weight away. There was no penalties in this race, and La Conquier is very smart in its own right. But Charisma Cat, after making a few blunders, which you could expect for a horse first time out, stuck at it well. It was only beat about 3 lengths. It doesn't there is some good mares in England, novice mares. But this is she'd probably be unbackable if she turns up in a mare's maiden hurdle. They won't let you back her. She'd be unbackable in a race like that. But there's a mare's race in Taunton, comes up there around
30th of December.
Is it? Yeah, just before. I'd like her in something like that now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think I nearly think she'll get up to La Conquier's level anyway at some stage during the season. Her bumper form suggests she will as well. So, but as I say, she's a surefire winner in the future. But she could be unbackable in an ordinary maiden hurdle at the same time.
Beautiful. There you go. One for the Race and Post tracker. Get it in there. It's Charisma Cat. So let's find out Johnny's never ordinary moment. The one moment that made him go, whoa, over last week. What was it?
Yeah, I think the training performance by Dan Skelton with Panic Attack.
Yes.
Big effort.
Yes.
Huge effort. I remember everyone remember, obviously it's not just me, but Panic Attack winning the bumper in Market Raisin with Mullins.
I remember that.
Yeah. And then they selling at Willie Mullins, they were saying, like, how could you buy a horse off of Willie Mullins? You know what I mean? I wouldn't touch one of you. They're just too good them fellas. So I went to David Pipe and then didn't perform in the...
So was it not owned by Brian Drew when it won the bumper, no?
No.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't, no. They bought it.
Yeah.
I went to David Pipe and then ran the Cheltenham bumper.
Yeah.
And I stood it for a lot of money in the Cheltenham bumper. I said, there's no way they're giving away the Cheltenham bumper winner anyway. Like, you know what I mean?
How'd it run?
Oh, it ran bad. But then it's in the doldrums for years and years with, like, it's performing to a reasonable level. No, it didn't turn out that bad a horse or anything like that. But like, it was running like 120 horse kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Suddenly it goes from Pipe to Dan Skelton. He's mixing it between hurdles and fences. Yeah. Then it gets...
Folded up one day at Windsor as well, yeah.
Yeah, it goes to the Paddy Power, wins that, easy. And then goes like for the Paddy Power, that's a big double. The Paddy Power and the Carl Cup or whatever they call it. They're two completely different races, aren't they? 2-4 and then a 3.25 mile race. With
Exotic Dance won both, didn't he?
Did he? Yeah. But like Exotic Dance was Gold Cup horse, wasn't it? Like, you know what I mean? But like with
David Johnson had won that one.
Did he? Yeah. But with a 9-year-old mare, though. At the same time.
Unbelievable.
Do you know what I mean? And like that's a big effort. That's a great training performance, I think, to get a horse at like maybe at 8 years of age and go and win them 2 races like. From like it's come from 2 good outfits as well, you know. But to get a mare at 9, like she's rising 10 years of age, and they won easy on Saturday. Like I thought
stayed every year.
Absolutely zero in a race like that.
You didn't fancy her, no?
I would give her no chance, none in the world.
Tipped up by Tom Siegel in the Racing Post. That's why he's price wise.
Did he tip it up? Yeah, that's a fair. I wouldn't have fancied that at all. No, I actually backed that Meyertown. Had a good bet in the 2. It's going okay too. You know what I mean? There's early days, obviously, but
early days. They'd barely take it off.
But did a circuit to go. Yeah, but you'd double your bet if you could at the same time.
It was the exact same fall as the one he had at Windsor.
It was.
Going to his left and just landing in the fence.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, but no, I think Skelton that's like a terrific training performance in my opinion. Anyway, yeah.
Absolutely brilliant trainer. There you go. Dan Skelton doing the big double with Panic Attack. It's Johnny Dineen's never ordinary moment. So it's midweek treat time here on Up in the Ante, and we're up and running, folks. Yes, Johnny got his winner. 2nd week in. Only in the job 2 weeks, Johnny, and you've got a winner.
Yeah, well,
Risk away, very impressive at Thurles.
Yeah, it won easy.
Did you back it?
I did. To be fair, yeah,
decent.
I did decent enough. Yeah, but I fancied 2 horses the same day. I did the same amount in both. The next one didn't win though.
What was that?
The one in the race afterwards belonged to the Bromhead Jasmine Pearl or something. Jasmine thing. But I had a tiny profit over the 2 of them. But like to be honest, if you force me to pick one of the 2, I would have picked Jasmine over Risk Away.
On the day?
On the day, yeah. Okay. But I did back both of them anyway. So anyway, look, this week there's no Irish racing Thursday. And I couldn't really, there's horses running there in England, but there could be no price. Like Harry Lowe's, I don't know, horse of Dan Skelton, but he could be no price. So I'm not going to put him up anyway.
Never bothered you before, Johnny.
Yeah, but these could be like 1 to 4, there'll be fellas screaming.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? It could be...
Even too short for you.
Yeah, but then look, you can't really tip a 4 to 1 hand chance, and fellas. Not much good to most people. No. But anyway, although I did back one today, 2 to 11. Would you believe that?
You did now, Johnny.
I did. I couldn't resist it. Idaho Sunday finished about 12 to 1.
Oh my God. And what price did you back at 2 to 11?
Yeah.
I'd say after a hurdle, he was 1 to 11.
I didn't even watch it.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I put it on, it was 103. It's going okay anyway. I didn't even watch the race.
What do you mean you didn't watch it?
I didn't bother watching it.
Why, you were too nervous? Like?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't that at all. It's just that I was busy. I was doing things on the first Saturday, and it was 11 o'clock in the morning, or half 11.
It was early, yeah.
Yeah, I was rushing to be ready for the first race in the Fairy House. And
Did you watch the replay?
No, I didn't, but I knew it won a distance now.
Well, it was a hurdle in front, I'd say.
Yeah.
Stage, yeah.
No, actually, what happened was I flicked it on, and it was coming to the 3rd last. I see it jumping the 3rd last, and then I turned it off again. You know what I mean?
Why?
Just I was driving the car just at the same time. You know what I mean?
Oh, right, okay.
Right, so I tried to park it. So I don't know what I was doing.
You weren't driving, no. You were pulled in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, it won. But so I'm not going to put Harry. What's he called again?
Harry Lowe's.
Harry Lowe's, yeah. But I fancy the horse there on there's a novice chase, 3 mile novice chase in Sandown on Friday. It looks like it's going to run to Lordens Bay.
Yes.
I think it won that EBF final there at 33 to 1.
Yeah.
So it has course form. It's not a bad horse now, and it's it's getting a bit of weight off of Diane Quest. Now, I have a feeling Diane Quest isn't as good as it looks. Now there's other horses in it. There's Quebecois and there's a couple of others, but I think Lordens Bay. He only
bad news for you, Johnny.
What?
My bet of the week is in that race.
Oh, go away.
Yeah, my charity bet is in against you.
Oh, right, okay.
And I'm very confident.
What horse is that?
Quebecois. He will turn around that form. Telling you.
With what?
Turn around the form with Diane Quest.
They're on the right, yeah.
But you fancy yours anyway.
Yeah, I do a bit. I'd give it a chance. No, he'd won a 2-horse race.
Give us the name again.
Lawrence Bay.
Time of the race.
2:20.
At
Sandown. Friday.
That is Johnny Dineen's midweek treat. He's 1 out of 2 so far. Let's find out what's happening this week. We're going to preview 2 races at Sandown on Friday and 2 at Sandown on Saturday. So, Johnny, we'll kick off with the Winter Novices Hurdle at Sandown on Friday. And no drama this end. There was talk of him going straight from Cheltenham, where he was incredible, wasn't he?
Yeah, he won well there, to be fair.
To the Shallow. But I wonder, will Nichols just be tempted now? Odds on, around about 4 to 5 or 4 to 6, no drama this end. Would he be tempted to take this in at Grade 2 at Sandown?
Yeah, look.
He'd win it with his eyes shut, would he?
It's a £5 penalty. He should win it, though, even with a £5 penalty. It's not a great race. It tends not to throw up a great type of horse, this, really. I'd say you have to go back 15 years before you like I think Fingal Bay won it 1 year.
Yes.
Like, yeah, and there might have been another horse won it around the same time. But in the latter 10 or 12 years, it hasn't thrown up anything like a Cheltenham winning horse or anything like it even though. Some ordinary horses have won it really. He should win it. It's not a great race. I didn't see a lot of depth in it, but he has the £5 penalty. Look, I think if you were thinking that he might win it, something like the Shadow Hurdle, he should win this even with the penalty. I don't really see. I think maybe Crackerjack might be the biggest danger to it, but he's only won a maiden hurdle in Font. But it's like no drama. This end has a lot going for it. If he does turn up, he should win, and if he didn't, I'd be slightly leaning towards Crackerjack, but not with a huge amount of confidence.
Perfect, yeah. I'm a big no drama descent fan. I'd say he should win this easily if he runs. The Esher Novices Chase, we spoke about it there. You fancy Lawrence Bay?
A bit, yeah. I think there's a chance, yeah.
Yeah. I'm
the only thing I would say about in a race like this, well, you know what Diane Quest is going to do from the start, and you've got to jump really well to keep in tabs on a horse like that. You know?
Yeah, I think that Quebecois first run over fence at Exeter, Diane Quest exploited that, went like the clappers, had him out of his comfort zone very early, and then I thought kind of Harry Cobden kind of accepted it kind of after the second last. There was 10 lengths between them. I think you'll see a completely different Quebecois. He's a type of horse, wouldn't be surprised if he rocked up in maybe National Hunt Chase or the Ultima or something at Cheltenham. I think he's a very, very good potential stay-in novice chaser this season.
Yeah, look, he's probably going to benefit from the run, but he'll need, like my horse is the same boat. They will do, like, you know what the fella in front's going to do.
Question.
Yeah, and you'll need, any mistakes here are going to be like punished severely. So there's no margin of error from behind, you know, that kind of way.
Absolutely. There you go. Lawrence Bay for Johnny Quebecois from me. Moving on to Saturday, the Henry VIII Novices Chase, Lulamba.
Yeah, that should win, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw quotes of like 11 to 8 on that. That looked pretty generous to me. I didn't see anything in the race you'd be unduly worried about. Sam Thomas has 2. The only one of them will run. Steel Ally and what's the other one? Lump Sum, was it?
Yeah. Very impressed with Steel Ally at Carlisle. I thought that was a good performance.
He won against an all-aged race at the same time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you couldn't say it was well back to. I mean, it was a good effort. And
beat a Grand Annual winner.
Lump Sum beat Jacks Jr. easy in Uttoxeter, and Jacks Jr. won last week in Kempton.
Lulamba's probably just a different level, though, is he?
I think so. I think you'll be disappointed if Lulamba couldn't win this. I think if he's to have any kind of pretensions to being an Arkle winner, he'd have to take this out anyway. Yeah.
Okay. And last, but by no means least, one of the winter highlights, it is the Tingle Creek at Sandown. Ilete Tomp, John Bon and Lo de Sud. Looks like a 3-horse race. Liberty Hunter's obviously in there as well, and Edward Stone. Before you reveal your selection, are you pretty confident you know what's going to happen here?
As the way the races go,
are you seeing it clearly? As in, do you think you found the winner?
I quite keen on a horse, yeah.
Go on.
I fancy Lo de Sud.
Okay.
I do. I fancy it pretty strongly too.
Yeah.
I think this is his time of the year on softish ground or heavier. Could even be bad ground in Sandown anyway. To respect a bit of rain there, and it's a kind of a law unto itself. He's a good jumper. He's a lot going from. I think this is his time, and I think he'll win. I do. I think.
Is there any chance John Bon could reverse that form?
And John Bon looks to be half gone to me, and on top of
very
that,
good form at Sandown.
He does, but then he got beaten there the last time he ran there against Ilete Tomp. Look, I just think. On the day, I'd go Lo de Sud.
Tell me this, Ilete Tomp, like he's one of these horses that is obviously really, really good, but do you find it hard? It's kind of hard to get a handle on how good he is, isn't he? Because he rocks up and kind of wins as a second string. He beats Gaelic Warrior, then he comes out and he beats John Bon in the big race at Sandown at the end of last season. So it's just hard to get a handle on him. And then prior to that, he seemed to be just beaten by better horses.
Yeah,
What do you make of him?
I think he's, like, put it this way, I don't see him as a champion chase winner anyway.
Yeah.
And no, I don't see Leo de Sud as a champion chase winner either, to be honest. But I thought Leo de Sud was quite impressive in Cheltenham. He's okay, Jimenez had a run in the no race in Clonmel. They've all had runs at this stage, so fitness isn't going to come into it. But I just think, in the depths of winter ground, I'd go Leo de Sud over Ilete Thompson. I'm not so sure he's a real mudlark. You know, when his horses start coming into form in the likes of Punchestown and Sandown at the end of the year, you'd have to be worried about him on this side of Christmas, I think.
Okay. I was thinking kind of, I hated what I saw from John Bon at Cheltenham. Hated it.
Yeah.
But just every time I listened to Hayden Coleman, who used to ride him, he says how different he is at Sandown. I was kind of thinking, Jesus, is he a big price now kind of thing? And you're kind of almost ashamed to admit that he might be a little bit of value. But then he's entered Huntington on Sunday as well in the Peterborough Chase.
Is he, yeah.
They're kind of going, oh, that's smelly, like, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
this is his race. And he's entered another race the day after.
It is. I'd say they're worried about turning it into a slog, aren't they? Like, or a quagmire, I'd imagine.
Really? Okay.
That's the impression I got from reading some article the other day. But
would that not help John Bon if it was a slog?
I don't think he wants heavy ground.
No, I know he doesn't want heavy ground, but it's pace is a worry now over 2 miles from, like.
Yeah, I just think his best days are probably behind him now, to be honest.
There you go. It's low to sud for Johnny. Very confident in the Tinkle Creek, and that's what's happening this week. So it's time for DJ versus JD, our weekly charity bet competition. And Johnny, you're setting a relentless gallop here. You haven't put up a loser yet. You had a non-runner the first week.
That's right, yeah.
And the winner, Tihupu. Oh, sorry. What's it called?
Tihupu.
One for Johnny last Sunday, bolted up. That he never had a moment's worry.
Not really, no.
There you go. 50 quid at evens puts Johnny up to 100 quid. So he's marching into a huge lead. Unfortunately for me, my charity bet didn't go according to plan. So I am minus 100 quid. So Johnny, you're taking a big lead. So what have you got for us this week?
I'm going to chance a horse that missed last Sunday, Port Authority. He's going to be running in the 2.5 mile novice hurdle in Navan.
The grade 2 at Navan, yeah.
Yeah, and look, I think he's quite a smart horse. He won, okay, it was only a 2-horse maiden hurdle in Naas. But he did win well, and he's put 17 lengths. But the way he's travelling, I'd say he's quite a decent horse. And at this time of the year, I'm hoping that, I don't even know what it's up against, but you'd be hoping that Mullins hasn't anything really for it at a meeting like this, just yet anyway.
You're impressed at Naas by Port?
I was, yeah. And he's point-to-pointed, and he's going to ground, he's a lot going. He's now, can't imagine him being a wild price, Elias with a favourite with probably Jack Kennedy in Navan. But I'd expect him to win at the same time. Okay,
there you go. Port Authority for Johnny. And as I said earlier, I gave the game away. Not that you're waiting for it with Beta Breath or anything, but Quebecois for me at Sandown on Friday, 11-4, 220 at Sandown in that grade 2 novice chase. I think you're going to see a different Quebecois at Sandown on Friday. And I did like his jumping. I know Diane Quest put him to the pillow of his collar, but with that run under his belt, I'd say cobwebs have been blown away, and hopefully Quebecois can win the grade 2 at Sandown on Friday. 50 quid at 11-4, please. And that's this week's DJ versus JD. It is the moment you've been waiting for. It is the festival squads, where you find out whether myself, or more importantly Johnny, adds to his Cheltenham Festival team. And have we got a treat in store for you? Not one, but 2 tips. We're both putting up one. And none of this, easy, tap in from 2 yards, 6-4 stuff. Oh no, we have got a 50-1 shot and a 25-1 shot for the Cheltenham Festival. And that's what you call Ante-Post picking. Johnny, do you want to go first or second?
No, you go first.
Well, I go first. I'm the whopper.
Yeah,
I'm the 50-1 shot, right? I'm a 50-1 shot. I really like this horse. And in any normal week, Johnny, I think this would have made it into your top 3 in your start of the week. The name of the horse is Skylight Hustle, a 21-length winner of a maiden hurdle at Fairyhouse on Saturday. Go have a look if you get a chance. I think this horse is underestimated in the Supreme Novice Hurdle market. And with Bet365, he is 50-1. And I think that is worth taking. Maybe have a little nibble at 50-1, because I think this is a really good horse. Last season when he ran, they held him in high regard in Gordon's last season. He ran a bumper at Fairyhouse and he was very disappointed. And they were disappointed with him. He's owned by Rob Corr, Brian Atchison. He comes out this season, but before he ran this season, I was in Navan working one day, and he worked after racing with all the good horses. And I've written about this in the paper. He worked with Romeo Coolio, worked with Brighter Days Ahead. Romeo Coolio worked brilliant, always works really well. But in the middle of the pack, right, as they're all getting jiggy coming up into the final furlong at Navan, and they did a proper piece of work, There is Jodie McGarvey sitting on Skylight Hustle, pulling like this as they're passing us. I said, what the hell is that, Gordon? He says, that's Skylight Hustle. I said, he's a machine, is he? Well, he says, I don't know, like, I hope so, like, And he was beaten in a maiden hurdle at Gorham Park by the devil you know. Now, the passing wife and Skylight Hustle went at it very early that day. They went at it, and he was only, I'd say, 3/4 fit. And then the devil you know came and picked up the pieces. The passing wife ran really well in the Royal Bond. You backed it on Friday or on Sunday, and it just confirmed my theory that was probably a really good maiden hurdle. And I thought Skylight Hustle made a massive jump forward at Fairyhouse. Jumped well, travelled well. He's got loads of speed. So the only race he's going to go for at the Cheltenham Festival is the Supreme, if he's good enough, of course. And he's going to go to the Future Champions Novice Hurdle at Leopardstown next. That's his next port of call. That's the race Romeo Coolio won last season. So I think he's fairly high in the pecking order of Gordon Elliott's novice hurdlers. Now, who knows? Willie could have another Kopek to board. I haven't a clue. But at this stage, I just think 50-1 about Skylight Hustle for the Supreme Novice Hurdle is too big. So I'm adding the big whopper, 50-1, Skylight Hustle, to my festival squad. Now, Johnny Dineen, follow that.
Yeah, no, I could see your logic there. Very, very definitely. That's not the one.
You wouldn't be poo-pooing it.
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Okay. I wouldn't like to be laying it at 50-1 anyway. That's for sure, or even less. I'm going to put up a horse that disappointed first time out.
25-1.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Jade de Grugy for the Mare's Chase. I think there was enough in that performance in Cork, up to a point where she jumped exemplary well. I thought she did really well.
She's beaten it like 1-4.
Yeah, exactly. But I'd say she was like nowhere near ready anyway. So I'd say she'll step up a lot from that. And she was second to Lossie Out in the Mare's Hurdle last year. High class mare. To me, she's a high class hurdle mare. I don't see any problem whatsoever with her jumping.
Did you like her jumping?
I did, very much so. Definitely got tired up the straight. And I think the winning distance was accentuated, 15. She's beaten Calaconte before, and they beat it out of sight in that Mare's Hurdle. Yeah. So there is no reason why she wouldn't beat it again anyway. And she's miles behind it here. So I do think that when the time will come, she'll go way past the novice horses. Now, the one thing I would say, it's 25-1, and Phyllis is saying it. And they're right, it is deep enough race at the moment. Like you have Dino Blue, Spindlebury, possibly brighter days ahead. Even Only by Night is a contender, or maybe might even go for the champion chase, whatever. But it's a deeper mare's chase than normal. You know what I mean? Like this time last year and nearly the year before, it was like Allegory, Devasti, and Dino Blue. You couldn't find the third really, but like obviously, like if Spindleberry turned up, and if by the days ahead started winning races, and even Dino Blue, they're all formidable opponents. But at 25-1, you have to expect that you have horses to beat. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're not going to be saying 25-1, I have nothing to beat. Of course you're right. You know what I'm saying? It's not as if it's a 5-4 chance, or something like that. You know what I mean? So basically, 25-1, I think she's worth a stab. I could see her maybe going to Limerick at Christmas, winning there, and maybe go motoring from that point.
And the thing is, if she actually won a beginner's chase, just say next, and was reasonably impressive, she'd be like 5-1 or 6-1.
Well, she came from nowhere last year. She wasn't even running this time of the year, and then she finished up second. And she did go on to win in Punchestown after, won easy. So that's a high class hurdle mare, and I see nothing whatsoever wrong with her jumping. In fact, I'd say she's even as good a jumper of fences as she is a hurdle. I think could even improve. Now, saying that, it is a deep division, and she's coming in as a novice, but I think at 25-1 she's worth a stab.
There you go, 25-1 for the Mare's Chase. Jade de Grugy. Johnny has added to his list and joins Dr. de Menil in the Turner's Novice Hurdle. Johnny has got 2 selections for the 2026 Cheltenham Festival, both trained by Willie Mullins, and the latest is Jade de Grugy, and that's the festival squads. Now it's time for Johnny's Joke of the Week. Now, this is going down a storm, Johnny. I think Tommy Tiernan and the lads are getting worried that you might be selling out Vicar Street soon.
Right.
Yeah. What have you got for us this week?
It's not really a joke. I heard fellas there talking one night about characters. It used to be at the betting rings and the characters, and there's no one there anymore. When they go to the race, there's no one to talk to. And I often think of some of the great characters that used to be at the races years and years ago. Like, you know, even I didn't spend a lot of time in the betting rings in England, but there was some great characters there, like the likes of Johnny Lights and these kind of things. But I'm going to mention a great character that. He's a Dennis the Boxes, we used to call him. He used to do the boxes.
Dennis the Box.
Yeah, Dennis the Boxes. He used to do the boxes for the bookies at the races. You know
Dennis the Boxes.
Yeah, Dennis Bourne was his name. He died now, unfortunately, like young enough. He was only in his early 60s. But what a great character, though. Like funny, witty, but didn't care. One of those for I loved them for they couldn't care about. We'll worry about tomorrow. You know what I mean? But I remember one day I was in Bellistown anyway, and we had a lot of money on a horse in a 5 furlong maiden in well, you know, a really bad race now, but it's a 3-year-old maiden, 5 furlongs. It was one of these youngsters after getting beat about 10 times. You know,
placed,
all that kind of stuff. But Pat Smullen rode it for Weld anyway. It was around even money, and so the next thing was anyway. I was up in the box. We weren't even betting in the race, and it was around 10 to 11 evens anyway. And he comes up to me and he says, will you lay me an even winner, right? Now Dennis had stopped a clock, you see, right?
Dub, was he?
He was a jinx. Yeah, it was a dub, yeah. He lay me an even winner, he says. So I says, oh, jeez, oh, no, Dennis, you can't have you.
You have to ruin it for me.
So I'm looking at it. It's an extra £7, like, you know what I mean, if Dennis is back. So I'm looking at him anyway. I says, I'll tell you what we'll do, Dennis. So I'm looking at him and said, what am I going to do with this for that? So I said, I'll tell you what I'll do, Dennis. You can't back it. You have to promise now you can't back it. But I'll give you 200 if it wins, right? But you cannot back it. You promise me now you won't back it with anybody else. So he's looking, what's the catch? I says, no catch. No catch.
You're just a jinx.
Yeah, but you just can't back it. Right. So that's okay anyway. Races run anyway. And when they go by the line, you cannot split them. You cannot split them. I mean, it was only short heads that time, but it was a nose. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're betting in the 4, it's evens your choice, right?
Geez.
So we're waiting to say I'm 1 and the other one is 6. So you're waiting up the box and he says, next thing, result, first number 1. You see?
You won.
We won.
Right. Well done.
And the next thing,
Jesus,
out of nowhere, he appears under the box. I gave that some bleeding riot. As if he was the credit for it winning. So I gave him his 200 and off he went. Johnny,
that is unbelievable. That just goes to show you how superstitious you are
with
these jinxes. You really can't stand these jinxes.
He's a great guy. He says to me one day, I was getting married, and he says, I says, I'm getting married on Wednesday. I says to him, this was a Sunday, right?
Did you get married on Wednesday?
Wednesday, did you?
Wednesday?
Because nobody go otherwise.
Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday. It was before Christmas.
Oh, okay.
But all my men would be at the races Saturday or Sunday. Do you know what I mean? They wouldn't go.
Oh, yeah.
I could know what that is. Yeah. They're on my own. Yeah. So the next thing was anyway.
Will you invite me to your next one, no?
I will.
Thanks.
So the next thing anyway, he says to me, Wednesday, so he says, where are you getting married? Fort, I said, you see, right? So,
nice.
So the next thing anyway, Tuesday night, I'm heading to Fort's because I'm staying there that night. He rings me anyway. I'm up in Fata. Fata, he was called, did you see? Fata. So next thing anyway, he says, oh, great. I thought he was joking. Yeah. Come into the bar, I'm in the bar, he says. So he walked into the bar. He was there.
Was he invited?
Not at all. Not at all, right? But that's kind of a character he was. I'm delighted he came now, you know what I mean? But he knew that he could come down, no problem, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I said, where are you staying? Down where he says. So I says, well, checked him in 2 nights, and it just said, you won't mind a cup of whatever he drinks, put it on my tab. Anyway, he was a great character though.
Jeez.
Yeah, but he was really reliable at the races and so far. He'd do anything for you. Like, take your gear down, put it up, bring your gear home, and you'd be there the next day. He'd always be reliable. But a great character. Loved the liquor, loved the gambling, everything. But really good guy, yeah, absolutely.
There you go. And you won the photo anyway.
Yeah, we did. We got the photo, yeah. All thanks to him.
Yeah, he gave a great ride. That's Johnny's joke of the week. And that is it. That's it for this week's Up in the Ante. Episode 3 is done and dusted. And I presume you have subscribed by now for free. Exactly, but if you haven't, please subscribe. It's just down there. Look, just press the button and subscribe. For free, Johnny.
That's it, yeah.
What's your week like? You have a bit of shopping to do, you were telling me
I
before.
have a few birthdays coming up. My missus' birthday this week. And a young fella, one of our young fellas, his birthday, isn't it?
It's our birthday this week.
Yeah, this week.
Any plans?
I would just probably go for a meal, something like that. You know what I mean? With kids around Christmas, you can't really get away much. You know what I mean? That kind of way.
And is there a particular nice restaurant that you'll go to?
There's a few choices. Oh, yeah. Y'all is good, and out of town is good too. Y'all is some nice places, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's places like there's one of them is actually closed. I think I heard, but the Keys is open. That's a good restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, it's you could go to y'all or you could go out of town. It depends. I think we might have to go to Cork because I meet my young one is coming off a plane or something. We might meet her on the way home or something like that. That's basically what might happen. But we'll see.
Do you know what you're getting her?
My young one is getting it. She's away. She's going to bring it back for me.
Oh, you sent her away for it?
Well, no, I didn't. She's away, but she's come back on Thursday night, so she'll bring it back with her.
Do you know what she's getting?
I haven't a clue.
Have you given her the money for it?
No, and she'll text me when the time comes.
So it could be anything?
I don't know, but at least she's going to know what she likes and all that kind of stuff. So it's easier that way, isn't it?
Like, that's what they say. Good leadership is putting the people who know what they're at in the right positions.
Exactly. Well, I mean, there's not much by me buying something that she doesn't. That she says, "Oh, that's lovely." And next thing, being
and will she?
into a locker for about 14 years. You know what I mean? What's that thing? Oh, that's the thing he bought me there for 1 year for the birthday. Look at that.
And will she know that your daughter got the present?
She might if she watches this, maybe.
But she probably doesn't. But would she have an idea that she?
She probably would. She'd know I couldn't find anything anyway. God's sake, how could I find anything? You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially when you're watching Racing 24.
No, but it's a big look. Our Christmas is a big time around our house with kids and that. You know, I mean, they love it. You know what I mean?
How did you get on seeing Santi? Good. Didn't you go see Santi last week?
We did the other day. Yeah, grand. Actually, my little one, my two small ones. The one is 8, one is 4. They race for the door, right? They race for the door.
The door at home?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
And every time the bell rings, it races for the door.
Oh, yeah,
so
sorry.
I had a call the other day, and he was delivering a message to me, and next thing anyway, I knew he was coming. So when I heard the doorbell ringing, I kind of moseyed down the stairs. So the small little one was standing at the door.
What age is she?
4, and the door is open. You can kind of see her, man. And she just turned around and she says, "Mom, what? There's a man at the door with a big fat belly like Santa and Daddy."
What did you say?
Can't be saying anything. Well, I didn't mind about her.
Well, I was going to say, were you more disappointed for yourself or your man that was
I couldn't care less about myself.
Did he laugh?
He did, yeah. You could see
he laughed and he joined you for the couch to 5K.
He had a big belly, and in fairness.
Yeah, she wasn't lying.
No.
You've taught her well, Johnny.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't tell lies. Yeah. So you've got a few birthdays this week, and somebody told me, I don't know if this is true or not, somebody told me that something incredible is going to happen this week. There is a chance that Johnny Dineen might go to a race meeting.
Oh, Mallow on Sunday. I might go.
Cork, you're going to be there.
Cork, yeah. It's a possibility. It's probably
Is this part of the farewell tour or what?
No, it's not. No, Barney O'Hare, Bar 1, has invited me up for a bit of grub and that, yeah. So I was there last year. Nice.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah, I actually was in Fairy House last year. I couldn't go this year because we had gymnastics and things like that. Do you know what I mean? So
you're doing the gymnastics?
No, my little one was doing it.
Sorry.
So yeah. So I couldn't go, but I would have gone. But nice, like it's different. Like to go into a box and stay there for the day. It's a bit of an unusual thing.
Johnny.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I'd probably go on Sunday. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. You might see Majbar in action on Sunday.
Is he running there?
The Hilly Way, yeah.
Oh, is he? I didn't know that. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Learn something new every day. But as I said, that is it for episode 3 of Upping The Ante. I hope you enjoyed the show. Plenty of laughs along the way. And hopefully we've steered you in the right direction for the racing this weekend. I've been David Jennings. He's been Johnny Dineen. Thanks for watching Upping The Ante.